Hi guys, hope you're well. Matthew here. I just want to talk about this error code that came up on my Fiat Ducati van. It's motorhome, tag axle, Autotrail Frontera. It's a 2012 model. The issue that it has should have been fixed in 2007. I've checked with Fiat and they seem to think that this model and this one was sorted out, but it's still an issue. So I was driving between, where was I driving to? I'd left West Ruislip, was going up the hill out on the M40, and lucky enough it broke down on the M40 going towards the services, and I managed to pull over into the services as it was going into limp home mode and limited to 55 miles an hour. The engine management light came on and had to wait for a company to come out. It's Adrian Flux, absolutely phenomenal. I have to say, got insurance with them and breakdown with them as well. And they put the fault code reader on it, and this is the error code that it came up with, which is a cylinder 1 injector circuit high. I suspect you may get cylinder 1, 2, 3 and 4 possibly with the same code. It just happened that it was on cylinder 1 for me. And basically what was happening was that water was getting into the I'm showing you a picture of the injectors here. This is after I've sprayed it with WD-40 and it had actually dried out. But basically this whole bar where the injectors are was filling with water. You can see that they're rusty anyway, filling with water. And normally there's a cover on the top of here. You can see the two bolts here to right of where the oil is, the oil top up is. You can see two bolts that are pointing up, and there's normally a cover on here, and that cover was sopping wet, absolutely. Like the guy that came out, he said that needs drying out, absolutely wet. And the water was in the top of the engine where the injectors are, and water had been running down. You see this black pipe that's here, and the water was running down onto or into the electrics. And basically all he did was unclip the injector lines, so unclip the injector electrics, unclip them, blew them out, put it back on again. This is injector 1, the furthest on the left. Blew the injector out, put it back on again, and then reset the engine management system, and it worked fine. The problem with it is that basically the water is running down the windscreen and underneath this plastic. When you pull off of a site, quite often you'll get water runs down the windscreen. If you've been parked somewhere, you know, the water will run down the windscreen if it doesn't run off the back. And it's basically, they've got this little plastic sealant here, which is like double sided. It's literally about 5 to 10 millimeters thick, and it's supposed to be stuck to this windscreen, and it isn't. And the water just pours underneath and ends up sitting on top of the injectors and playing around with all the electrics. This hole on this fan was blocked up, so it wasn't going anywhere at all. And ironically, the pipe for this one on the left hand side was not even plugged in. So the water, even if this hole hadn't been blocked up, it wouldn't have been going anywhere anyway. If you want to get these off, and I highly recommend you do take these off, the window wipers, you'll need to get the pullers, because in this case they'd proper rusted on. And we basically went along, and all the way along this, you see this bead. I'm looking at this now having been done. You got the windscreen comes down, and we basically used a black sealant to run all the way along the window to fill it, because we didn't want it going underneath. Even along the black edges on the left hand side, you've got rubber going down. We filled those as well. and made sure that there was a thick bead of about 30 to 40 mil all the way along the bottom of the windscreen, and then went along it and pushed it in, and made sure it sealed. It goes off quicker if it's wet. I will show you what we used at the end. This hole should be clear. It's one of the main holes. You can see here on the left we've got the sealant running all the way along. In the middle, between the water jets, you've got the arm for the passenger side window wiper, and you can just see a hole there as well, which we drilled by hole. I think I used a 10mm drill, and basically put a hole in there. If we go in, we can see it. There's a hole there. It's not a very good one. That's the main water hole that comes out underneath the windscreen. That is the passenger side one, which we managed to rectify. I took the driver's side one and put it in place because there was nothing wrong with it. So I put that one in there. That's the one I drilled in the middle of the windscreen. I ran some hose underneath to help manage. You really need to seal this middle one. Let me go back to this one. There's a middle seal where the two bits of plastic join. You must seal this one with the plastic molding that we've used, or the plastic sealant that we've used. And this is the driver's side one, which you can't quite see the image, and I will put in here. Just bear with me a second and I'll load the image. Hold on. Sorry guys, just had to pause the video there. This sealant is amazing. Highly recommended. I think they use it. I think it's the sealant they use to seal the windscreens on. So really good. Go and use. This is what I used. It goes off well. It goes off hard. And since I've done this, I've had no water ingress into the engine bay. I would highly recommend you do this if you're in any doubt at all. I have seen this on a video where a 2014 model was still getting the same problem, and they fixed it using another kind of sealant, but this is the sealant I used. Thanks guys, I hope it helps, and don't panic about it, but just get it sorted out. It's well worth doing. Have a great day.